Hi, beautiful people. So today is the 27th of July, and we've just moved into a new wave spell. So today, beginning today, we enter into the wave spell, the 13-day process of White Dog. And it's the first 13-day wave spell of our new Galactic cycle, our new year, because yesterday saw the turn of the new year. So we've all entered into this year of Red Moon, and I had a wonderful day yesterday in the north of England, and we had a fantastic event. I got to see loads of tribe, and we were just really sharing that beautiful energy together, and dancing loads, which was amazing. But that subsequently meant that, because I've been focused so much on the fact that it's the new year, I totally forgot that it's the wave spell. So I'm actually doing this on the day of the wave spell. And not only is it White Dog wave spell, it's also my birth wave spell. So it's nearly my birthday, which is really exciting. So the 13 days of White Dog, what is White Dog all about? White Dog energy is very much about unconditional love. White Dog is about our relationship with our birth tribe and the patterns that are set up from that. So it's really, really interesting that, at the moment I'm here in Bradford and I'm staying with my grandparents. And when I was a little girl, they would sort of pick me up from nursery, and we spent a lot of time together. And we've had an amazing journey that's been, full of ups and downs. But the one thing that we've got to now, through having this ability to communicate with one another and having this, we're so different, and in a lot of ways I used to feel completely misunderstood, but the thing that we have is unconditional love, and that is what our relationship has really, really taught us. It's like none of that other stuff matters, just loving each other does, and that is what White Dog is all about. So a lot of the time, because wounding gets passed on from generation to generation to generation, we have all of these conditional love codes that we are programmed with. So, you watch any kind of parenting, and because of where everybody's at, because of, what they've inherited and the experiences that they've had, generally speaking, when people are parenting, it's full of manipulation, and it's full of bargaining, and it's full of this codependent relationship, this conditional love. So because we want to control our children, because we want to have an easier ride, and that's completely understandable, we then kind of go into these like ego games, and that's something that's then carried on. Now, if people have experienced abuse and neglect and all these different things that horrendously a lot of people on the planet experience when they're children, that sets up a pattern that continuously repeats. So White Dog is very much about, what does love mean to us? How did we learn to get our needs met when we were children? And how much of that is still resonating for us now? So within this wave spell, we've really got the opportunity to see how that's playing out for us. And everything's always a spiral. So we might have worked on our childhood stuff, but we're going to always be working on our childhood stuff, like every time it comes back around. But there's the opportunity to really check in here and see how far we've come, and see, what we still need to be working on, because these patterns and codes that are set up around, what love means to us, and this like how we do relationship, this then reflects within our friendships, our intimate relationships. Every connection that we have is either running this old code that we have unconsciously adopted through our experience, or is shifting into a new way of being. And especially when it comes to relationship with others, White Dog is very much about tribe. So we've got this like companions of destiny, and finding our soul tribe and noticing how it feels to be, with soul tribe. And another thing to kind of ponder upon, within this White Dog wave spell and within this energy, is the difference between, the intimate relationship and the friendship, and the different rule books that we have for each, and the different conditions that we have for each. And, you know, this whole thing of needing the other to meet our needs when we're not meeting our needs ourselves. And, you know, really dropping into that, okay, so I need to meet my needs before I can kind of come into a relationship with somebody who's going to meet them. You know, it's like, yes, we are here to be together, but we're also not here to be snatchy and dependent. And, you know, because the whole, when it comes down to it, it's very similar to the situation that we, in the relationship that we have with money. There's this like clutching energy. If we didn't have our needs met when we were children, and let's be honest, the majority of people did not get their needs met as children, not because of wrong things and wrong people. There's things that can be worked on, but because of where the planet has been at and where humanity has been at. So that meant that we had to learn to get our needs met in other ways. And these have become like subconscious processes, you know, that are continuously playing out. And, you know, I know for me, even though I can recognize a lot of my patterns, there's still things for me to shift because I see them unfolding. Even though I'm kind of zoomed out and observing myself going through the behavior, I'm still going through the behavior. And then I'm doing my emotional transformation techniques and, you know, really doing the shadow transformation to shift that. But it's not a quick fix. And there's this thing around boundaries as well within White Dog. And, you know, boundaries are really, really important. But it's a scale, you know, of kind of keeping our heart open and having boundaries is such a confusing situation, you know, because there's that element of us that wants to cut off and wants to be on our own and wants to protect our own space. But at the same time, coupled with that, there may be this heart closing because it's coming from fear. And this is the thing to kind of really help when we look at our relationships. It's, okay, is it coming from fear or is it coming from love? You know, is that part of me that is wanting to set that boundary or to say that thing or to da, 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 da. It's like, okay, where is that coming from? Is it coming from love or is it coming from fear? And like I say, you know, there's this thing within this clutching energy that's coming from fear. It's like, oh no, I need you to do this because, and it's looking at the because. It's like, oh, okay, so there's something within me there that doesn't feel safe, that doesn't feel whatever, which is making me want to snatch. So if I can let go of snatching on the outside and really open that space within myself to drop into what need is not being met here, we drop into a different space. And it's the same thing, as I say, with money. Money might come up this Wavespell because it's that same energy of the codependency and the fear. You know, it's like, oh, I can't spend that money because I don't know what's going to happen. But when I was on the bus, I got this insight, you know, because I feel like my relationship with finance is softening now. There's this ability to, you know, breathe in and breathe out. And that's all it is. It's like, you know, like when you breathe in, you're not sat there holding your breath and then breathe because you don't know if you're going to be able to breathe in again. There's a trust that's developed. And, you know, this trust in relationship means that we're not in this codependent space anymore. It means that we can kind of open and know that, you know, whatever comes in and goes out is fine. So it's the same thing with money as it is with love. You know, so we've got this, okay, it's safe for me to not need to hold on to this person or hold on to this finance, because in the same way that as I breathe this air in, I breathe it out and then I breathe in again, and I've got this trusting relationship with the breath, unless I'm going on a bit of a weird pop trip and getting freaked out and paranoid. As a general rule, we're totally in trust, and that therefore creates this reality where we've got this beautiful flow of in and out. And, you know, how can that be mirrored with our relationships? And, you know, money is energy and our relationship, we are energy. So it's constantly this dance of energy and, you know, this codependency and this fear that's come from, you know, the codes that were set up when we were little. And it's interesting to know, you know, our family patterns and see how all of that plays out and how all of that fits together, because that can be very insightful for us. Often, you know, it's very difficult for us to see ourselves because, you know, that's the way that it is. It's the way that we operate because we're within us. So to kind of look on the outside and see again what our reality is mirroring to us is a really powerful thing. So yeah, so we've moved into this new year now. So we're in the 13th year of a 13-year cycle. So we're in this like completion purification space. And to enter into White Dog within this at the beginning of this whole journey is perfect, because it kind of wraps up what we've been working with for the previous cycle. When we were in the yellow crystal seed year, the crystal is very much about co-creation, community, and relationships. So it's really interesting, to kind of be at the beginning of this new cycle, again, looking at these codes around unconditional love and tribe. So there's also a really beautiful opportunity within this Wavespell to connect with our cosmic family, to really co-create community events, and to really feel the truth, which is there is a huge family of us that are all on the same page, that all speak the same language, that are all operating from the heart and love. Because that's the thing, it's not an us and them or anything like that. It's just I love reality and I feel safe in reality, or I don't. And all of us have got parts of us that exist within both those polarities, but it's about bringing that together and it being this trusting experience. So even though there's a part of me that doesn't fully trust all of the time, or that doesn't feel comfortable all the time, on a bigger picture, I know that it's all in divine order and it will shift as it needs to shift in the perfect time, in the perfect way, because I'm willing and open to letting it go. But for whatever reason, whatever I need to learn, the medicine is still being given through that fear. And that gives it this whole other integration space, because we're coming from a space of knowing that no matter what is going on, it's always for the greater good. So I hope that you have a really fantastic White Dog Wavespell, and I'll just show you, check this out, right? So I think you can see behind me, my granddad absolutely loves his garden. This is like his pride and joy. So he's 88 next week, and staying with them is such a wonderful experience. And again, to digress slightly, he's got a gorgeous garden. It's this, our journey is really kind of, it highlights, because our journey has really been my life process in a lot of ways. And for me now to be here and to really enjoy the wonderful love that they give to me, and the wonderful space that I have with them, and also remain myself and be able to be seen. For me to be sat in their back garden doing an astrology report with dreadlocks, with hairy armpits, and do that is such a huge thing of revealing that this process does work, and that I am evolving, and therefore my relationships are evolving. It's like we both continuously love each other. If any of us would have seen this coming, would have been like, really, but again, it's this unconditional love, which is such a gift, such a gift, because I think on paper, the ideal for me would not have been this at all, but this is my ideal, and therefore, I feel fire and they can feel that. So there's this also, within this whole process, there's this energy of how can I be more and more of myself and allow myself to still love me and be loved for me, and love other people from that space. Because when we're not in a loving relationship with ourselves, we can't be in a loving relationship with anybody else. That's the truth. There's no way around that. It can only really be loving when we're okay with ourselves, and just take note of where do you hide, where do you not feel comfortable, butterflies, where do you take your edges off, where do you take your truth off, where do you put a mask on, and why, and it's a really beautiful portal into healing, because when we can examine why do we do that, every unconscious process that we catch and look at all of a sudden gets diffused, and we can open it as the portal that it is to clear whatever that thing is. So as well, to say I'm back in the UK now, so I've got like quite a lot of, I've got lots of events booked in over the weekends, weekdays. I'm just sorting out renting a room, so I'm going to be around to do energy healing stuff in person, which is really exciting. I do a lot of sort of channeled energy healing, which is super upgradey. And then obviously also I do the astrology reports, which are a combination of human design and galactic Mayan astrology, and also channeled insight. So this is a really beautiful time to be taking one of those reports because I do like a yearly forecast. And as we've come into this new year and the final cycle of this new year, it's really funny. My granddad's like mowing, so it just got really loud. So yeah, it's a fab time if you want to invest in one of those. Get in touch with me. And there's lots of other funky little things. So have a look on our website if you want to know any more. So I'm sending you loads of love from my birthplace, which is no coincidence. You know, the wind's blowing and my guides are here. It's no coincidence that I am in this place right now for my birth Wavespell, which is all about unconditional love and birth codes. You know, even without conscious awareness and conscious planning, that is the way that it weaves, you know, and it's really trusting that. So loads and loads of love, and I hope that you're really enjoying, you know, this beautiful entrance into the new year for us all. And I really look forward to connecting with you very soon. Take care, beautiful.